Hello everybody, welcome. You can tell I haven't done this for a while. Right, let's start again. Hello everybody, welcome to Weighintime. It is the Sunday weigh-in, back after a very long time. I am very sorry, and I will explain to you why I've been off and things like that. But in this video, I thought I would do a question and answer video. So I was on Instagram at Weighintime YouTube and on Facebook, and I asked you guys to ask me some questions. Before we get started with that though, this is your water reminder. You need at least 2.5 litres of water every single day. There's so many health benefits to it, so please, just drink some water. And also, don't forget, SlimCon 2018 is happening in Manchester, or in Oldham this year on the 16th of September, which is a Sunday. If you'd like some tickets, go to slimcon.co.uk. Right, so if you are on my Instagram, you would have seen that I've done some I've obviously uploaded some pictures every now and again, but I asked for some questions. So we're going to go through these now. It is the Sunday weigh-in, so make sure you drop your gains, your losses, your tips, and your tricks into the comment section below. And I'm gonna have to be quite quick with this because I forgot to charge the battery on my camera, so it might die any moment. So let's fingers crossed that doesn't happen. So DK Woman from Instagram asked, what are your favourite speed foods and low sin treats at the moment? I have not really been very good on plan, to be honest. I've been okay. I mean, my favourite speed food, instant answer, oranges. Like easy peel, satsuma sort of things. But they've been, right, I don't know what it is, but in the summer, they skyrocket the price and then they half the amount of oranges. Has anybody else noticed this? But they've just not been very nice. I need to go back to M&S and buy the oranges there. But yeah, so orange is definitely my favourite speed food, I should say. And my low sin treats. I think it has to be the Oasis. Well, they're actually low sin. Those, the little meringues, I've got quite into those recently. You can buy them in Asda in loads of places. And I have those normally with yogurt, some simple syrup, normally the maple bourbon one, which I quite like, some banana and some frozen berries. So I'd say those little meringues, they're quite cool. SW Mama Bear, what got you into YouTube, and can you remember can you recommend some software to edit your videos? What got me into YouTube? Well, I think I've always wanted to do a YouTube channel, and I always have, but there was nothing really I was passionate about enough to do a YouTube channel. And then I started Slimming World, and I became really passionate and really on plan with that, and that kind of made me realize that I'd like to, that can be what I started a YouTube channel on. So in all honesty, my want to do a YouTube channel started well before I was on Slimming World, but Slimming World kind of gave me something to talk about that I'm passionate about. And that's the same for, recommendations for anybody. If you're doing a YouTube channel, make sure you're doing it on something that you're passionate about rather than something which you think people will like. Gardening Stitcher says, any good suggestions for lunches? I struggle the most with them. Yeah, lunches can be quite difficult. I would say make yourself something before you go. So say, for example, you have a pasta bake or you have a bolognese or something the day before, then have some leftovers for lunch. That's what I do. Or you can make yourself some sandwiches and stuff like that with the Kingsmill no crust bread, the wholemeal one, obviously, because you can have 3 slices of that for your healthy extra B. And apart from that, I would say possibly a Morrison salad bar. Now, obviously, other supermarkets with salad bars are available, but Morrison salad bar is pretty good. But the only thing is with that is that the temptation to go for the stuff which is relatively high in sins. You know, if I have a Morrison salad bar, sometimes, you know, there's like 2 leaves of lettuce and the rest is just pasta and stuff like that. So you've got to be very dedicated. But I would recommend that. And also something which I do have when I'm on plan is the chicken and bacon pasta, the chicken and bacon salad from Subway. That's pretty good, and it's pretty low sin because they do light mayo as well. So there are a few little options for you. Jill120.gs804SW. That's a very unique name, Jill. Or Gil, whichever one. I like that, to be fair. It's very unique. How many times a week do you exercise? I'd like to say every day, 5 days a week, but the truthful answer is very, very, very little. Sometimes I will do 3-4 days a week. Sometimes I will do 0 days a week. It's very intermittent depending on how busy I am at work. So let's go with twice a week. But yeah, most of that time that number is a lot less. So yeah, I definitely would love to do that more. Andy Nerve 70's better half, the hairy slimmer. Yeah, so I was gonna, yeah, the hairy slimmer. What am I talking about? So Andy Nerve 70's better half. What's it like to be a lord, and have you used your title to get perks? In case you don't know this, I think I've mentioned it on Instagram a few times, but I am actually a lord. I bought it on eBay. Obviously, nobody knows that. I legitimately am a lord and everything. But yeah, I have used it. It's on my bank card, it's on my driver's license, and it's pretty good when you're like checking into hotels and things. You can get upgrades and things like that for it. So yeah, I strongly recommend getting one. There'll be more lords in the world, but yeah, I think that's good question. Andy Nerve 70's better half. Right, Megan Landers has asked, how do you get back into slimming world if you've been given up or if you have given up in the past? Why did you have to ask me that question? I've given up, sort of. I have gone back on it, and I keep saying it's about remembering why you started in the first place, I think, and that's what it is for me. I mean, the way I get back into it is I just like throw everything out which is high in sin, and snacks and all that kind of stuff, and things like chocolates and biscuits and sweets, even if they're sort of low in sin, or you know, you can control them, because when you're getting back into plan, it's very difficult to not have them. So I would say get rid of everything which is, you know, high in sins, and just concentrate mostly on speed and free foods. I know it's a big thing, but then slowly start introducing your low sins to medium sins back into your routine, and then you'll be able to cope with it a little bit more. Janine Clark, what's with everything that's changed and happened over the last 12 months, do you feel differently focused / less pressured than you did the first time you reached target weight to get back there again? That's a good question. I would like to say yes, but at the same time it's difficult because I know that I've put on weight. I've put on about 1.5 stone to 2 stone on, you know, on what I was when I was at my lowest, and it's more frustrating now trying to get back on plan, just because I know that I can do it. And I know I've said this before, but there's a lot of people who have said, oh, well, you don't need to lose more weight. You know, you look good as it is now, which I know that they're being lovely and being friendly, but it doesn't help, because then you start thinking, oh, well, maybe actually I don't need to lose any more weight. So yeah, I do feel differently about it, just because I feel like it is something which I really, really want, and I know how to do, but I'm frustrated with myself that I'm not doing it, and that's just completely my fault, nothing to do with the plan. Vicky Wheeler, suggestions to curb constant eating for someone who works from home. Oh, that's difficult as well. Just have low sin things around you. So get rid of, you know, like your higher sin things, exactly the same as if you were going to get back on plan, but just have something always available in the fridge. So for example, you could have a couple of little blocks of cheese, you could have a little couple of, you know, low sin chocolates, you know, just little things like that. But mostly, if you're going to snack, have some water first. Because 9 times out of 10, when you actually think you're hungry, especially if you're bored, you're actually just thirsty. So make sure you have some water and have that on plan. And then just give it 10-20 minutes. So drink some water, give it 10-20 minutes. If you still want something, think about going for the speed or the low or the free food first. And then if you're still hungry after that, then you can have something else. But have some water, go for low and speed foods, and then, you know, and then if you really want something, then after about half an hour, 40 minutes after that, then go for something else. It's just all about discipline. Crafting Slimmer Mummy asks, breakfast ideas is what I struggle with, and I'm having to motivate to keep going all after having a low day. Right, I'm gonna read that again. Breakfast ideas is what I struggle with, and having the motivation to keep it going when having a low day. Right, so that's kind of 2 questions. Breakfast ideas. I'm probably going to get a lot of abuse in the comment section for this, but I personally don't have breakfast all the time. Sometimes I do, but I don't believe that breakfast is the most important meal of the day for me personally, but that's just my choice. But when I do have breakfast, I'll have things like, I'll have some fibre. So, I'll have some fibre which is in the form of flaxseed. So I'll have that with maybe some grape nuts, and then I'll have some fruit and some yogurt all together with a little bit of simple syrup, which is not only healthy, but it's also really tasty as well, and it keeps you fuller for longer. I also have like today I had some beans on toast and some eggs. So, you know, it's about mixing it up, but personally for me, I always generally tend to have the same breakfast, which is fruits, fibre, and also some grape nuts and some frozen fruit as well. So that's just me personally. I know breakfast is a little bit different. Motivation if you are having a low day. Well, I know how that feels, because I've had quite a few low days. If you haven't seen a video, somewhere up here I'll put it, where I've been coping with stress and depression. Now, it is very difficult, but the problem is, what you've got to think is that when you do eat, when you're having a low day, it makes you feel worse. Obviously not if you just eat in general, but if you have things like chocolate, sweets, all that kind of stuff, it'll make you feel worse. So what I'd recommend doing is just really trying to have the speed foods, the free food, the low in sin food, and water, but water first normally, just before you think about going for something which isn't very good for you. And the only reason I say that is because once you have it, it's not going to make you feel better. It might make you feel better for, you know, a few minutes, but after that you're still going to be low, and then you're going to be even more low because you've just had something which is relatively high in sins. So I recommend going for the water, trying to speed your body up with the water first, and then if you still want it, then go for something else. Do I have any hobbies that you do in your spare time, and what type of music are you into? Justin Bowles asks, Justin Bowles, not Bowles. I'm so sorry, Justine. Justine, I'm so sorry. Not only did I just call you Justin, but I also called you Bowles rather than Bowles. I'm very sorry. Do I have any hobbies? Yes, I love photography. I love making videos, which I'm not doing as much. Also, I love playing computer games and stuff like that. What sort of music am I into? I'm into all sorts, really, like absolutely loads of stuff. But I will say that I quite like upbeat music and quite things to kind of make you feel a little bit happier. So yeah, I quite like that. Who's your favourite person on Instagram for SW or Slimming World inspiration? That's from Kirsty, mum of 4. I'm not answering that because there isn't somebody particular that I go to. They are absolutely all brilliant people, and I really can't answer that question. So yeah, but thank you for the question. Andy Rogan says, what does your typical food diary look like, and do you want all of your sins or just a few? Well, I'm completely 100% on plan. Sometimes I will go days without having any sins, Andy. So my normal food diary looks like jacket potatoes, spaghetti bolognese, quite full of speed food things, and my lunches, I talked about that earlier on. So that's my typical food diary. I normally will have water, I'll normally have squash, I'll normally have sugar-free drinks or free drinks, just to keep my sugar levels at bay. Let's have a little look. Right, we've got one from John Loving Life. Hiya mate, hope you are well. Thank you very much. And he has asked, where's the question gone? I didn't just delete it, did I? Oh no, here we go. Hope you're well. How are you coping with citalopram, and have they caused any gain or caused any problems with overeating / cravings? I am on citalopram, and I don't think it's anything to be be nervous about, or you can actually tell people that you're on antidepressants. And please, anybody who is out there depressed and you're suffering in silence, go tell somebody, because it happens to more people than you can imagine. Citalopram, yes, it has affected me. It's made me feel better and more upbeat, but at the same time getting used to them has made me feel a little bit more kind of lethargic and wanting to eat things which I might not necessarily want to eat, but I think after time it actually kind of gradually levels itself out, and it didn't make me put on weight. In fact, I think it made me lose weight, in all honesty. I just had the weight already there. Bunt Belly Busters, thank you. Best tips for long-term motivation. It is difficult, honestly. From someone who has lost so much weight, you can kind of see when you start, and the motivation's really great, because when you first start the journey, you start losing loads and loads and loads of weight, and then as kind of you get less and less, literally less and less of you, your motivation starts to go a little bit, because you're almost at the weight which you want to be. But the long-term motivation has to always be there, because otherwise you're just going to put it back on again. And I know that I'm not going to put it back on. Like, I've put 2 stone on, yeah, or 1.5 stone to 2 stone on, yes. Now I know that. But that was back in December when I had the all you can eat cruise and Christmas and all that kind of stuff. I have not actually I've not put any weight on since then, and I've actually lost weight since then. So I do, I know what I'm supposed to do, and it's just a matter of doing it. I think once you reach target, it's a little bit of a weird thing to get used to, because you can actually have more things. You can have more healthy extra A's, healthy extra B's, and you can have a few more sins and still stay on target. So I think it's different for everybody, but motivation is definitely the key of success in the future. And it's about making sure that you know what works right for your body, what you can and can't have, and sticking with that. And always have pictures of before and after. So if you're ever having a low time, look at your before pictures and then think to yourself, right, I used to be like that and I'm never going to be like that again. So the Livingstones, Helen from the Livingstones, if you're not already subscribed to her, make sure you do. If YouTube vlogger community was a family, who would you say would be your mum, dad, siblings, crazy aunt, etc.? We are one big happy family. That is very, very true. And SlimCon, get your tickets, slimcon.co.uk. It's going to be awesome, and it's going to be really good, and everybody's going to be back together again. And also, please do some videos on mindfulness. You make so much sense. Oh, thank you very much. I am definitely going to be doing more videos on mindfulness because I think it's something that is something which everybody should do. And once I explain to you or anybody who doesn't know what mindfulness is, I'm actually going to be doing a water reminder and a mindfulness reminder at the same time. But that is for a future video. Back onto the question. Well, definitely, Helen, you're going to be the crazy aunt. Absolutely, 100%. Mum, dad, siblings. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know if I can answer that question. I don't know who my mum would be. Actually, no, I know who my mum would be. And this is going to sound obviously insulting because it's my mum, but this is not the way I mean it in any way whatsoever. Debbie, okay? Debbie from Debbie SW, she would definitely be my mum. And the reason why is because she knows the answer to everything. Like literally everything. So absolutely, Debbie would be my mum. Right, my light is flashing to say that my camera is coming to the end of its life. So thank you so much for watching this. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe. Have an amazing morning, afternoon, or evening, and I will catch you next time on another Weighintime. I'll see you very soon.